As we have continued to dig into our financial reports, it has become clear that there are issues that would be an ongoing distraction.
The entire establishment is freaking out over this race in Wisconsin now that the Democratic Party darling has officially dropped out after a finance campaign scandal. Not that it would have mattered, as Francesca Hong's momentum is undeniable. And that's what really has them spooked. You can tell she's serious in this interview with David Sirota.
What about the idea that your kind of politics are a threat to the kind of electability that's necessary to win the general election?
The most electable person is the person who wins the most votes. And we have been winning since we started this campaign in the polls, in growing numbers of supporters. What is dangerous is to miscalculate where voters are at right now. Who is in touch with the voters and what are they saying? And who is vocal about it? Who is willing to fight to elect their candidate? And our fighters, our supporters, are people who haven't engaged in politics before. We fought the disillusionment and apathy that the Dems keep losing to and not being able to grow a broader coalition. There hasn't been a campaign like ours or a candidate like me before. But the voters that are supporting us are the voters that haven't voted for Democrats before. These are voters who have voted for Trump in the past, in a time where no other Democrat, I think, has, last I checked, been able to raise the money that Tiffany did, or gotten the 7-figure checks from 3 different billionaires who are backing his campaign. We're the campaign who is bringing the reinforcements and the organizing infrastructure to actually organize to win, and not just win in August and November.
I love that answer. Zoran wasn't electable until he won the election. Hell, Trump wasn't either. Maybe what they consider electable really just means bought and paid for, safe for them. Likely, in this case, that means somebody who was destined to lose to the Republican, which is why they're saying that it's so scary. Unless the moderate and conservative Dems consolidate, this race is going to be won by Fran, said Ryan Clancy, a Democratic Socialist state lawmaker who is backing Hong's campaign. They are going to try anything to make sure she doesn't win. And it's both sides of the establishment that are in panic mode, no doubt. Fran is the kind of candidate with broad issue-based appeal, hardline on things like AI data centers, for example. Even when she's pressed on something like defund the police, for example, by the Republicans, she shows that she has the discipline to take them on.
In 2020, you posted on X this: police exist to uphold white supremacy, defund the police, then abolish. Reform can't be an option. You still believe that police should be defunded and then abolished?
Right now, I think that we have a system where the Epstein class roams free, and our police officers are having to respond to mental health crises. They're having to respond to crime, where I think that if we are to be tough on crime, we must be tough on causes. And I am serious about public safety. Everyone deserves to feel safe.
You didn't answer my question. So please, the question's very simple. Do you still believe police funding should be going away and then police should be abolished?
I do not believe that police funding should go away, and I do not think that the police can be abolished. Right now, I am focused not on governing by slogan, but passing the policies that we know will ensure that people, all of our communities, feel safe, are safe, have access to good jobs with good benefits, our kids have great schools to go to, and that people are able to take care of themselves, have what they need to take care of themselves and their loved ones.
It's so obvious that the establishment is working around the clock right now to find a way to take Fran out. Even the MAGA hogs like this guy are calling out the Dems obviously rigging this primary. It is hilarious how a broken clock can be right twice a day.
Democrats are rigging their gubernatorial primary. David Crowley is back in the race a week after dropping out and endorsing Sarah Rodriguez, as well as encouraging every other candidate to do so in an effort to stop socialist Francesca Hong from running away with the party's nomination. There can be no clearer sign of collusion between the party and the forces trying to stop Francesca Hong actively working against the party's own voter base.
The so-called Democratic establishment is doing everything they can to make it seem like they still have a chance. For example, right-wing ads are already showing Francesca Hong as the opponent to Tiffany, which moderates see as another reason for why they need to take Fran down. A Democratic strategist said that every Democratic campaign for governor, including Hong's, should call this out for what it is, a sneaky, underhanded, blatant attempt to meddle in the democratic process, he said. Republicans, however, framed the ads simply as an effort to weaken the candidate they see as the favorite in the Democratic primary. Republicans know that they have a real issue with Democratic Socialists. We've won enough races now that they can't just ignore us. And when the main issues are oligarchy and genocide, the old Democratic Party can't offer what the voters want. These mofos can't even bring themselves to say Medicare for all, and yet they're still acting like they have a chance.
Several Democratic strategists said that they have concluded privately that you cannot win in a general election and the party needs to find someone else.
You know, we have been winning since we have been in the lead in internal polls and external polls. We have grown the broadest coalition of support from a diverse range of voters, independents, moderates, Republicans. We have shown in the fundraising numbers that we are not only in a viable position to continue to put resources into our campaign, but that, you know, voters, tens of thousands of voters are already, they're donors, they're out on doors. We've knocked tens of thousands of doors. And so I think that folks are telling us they're eager for something new. And our path to victory in August and in November are ones that we're going to continue to win for working class people.
Their fear is not only unfounded, it proves their entire game is about protecting the corporate Epstein class and not the people. When people look at Fran's platform or listen to her speak, they hear her talk about the issues that they care about. They hear a candidate ready to meet the moment. When asked about how she would govern, she answered, "Incrementalism is irresponsible. I'm a community organizer. This is a grassroots-powered campaign. We have volunteers and supporters who are talking to their neighbors right now about the importance of winning a trifecta and flipping the legislator in both the Senate and the Assembly. That work to govern begins now." They are scared of a people-first movement. For too long, they've been using our fear to lead, with absolutely no answer for an opponent who leads not with hope or joy, but trust. A promise that your belief in the movement will be rewarded with action. We've seen it with Zoran in New York, and voters want that too wherever they are. That's why Fran has had a staggering number of individual donors, real people who are sick of the suits telling us that a better world isn't possible. If 13,000 people are willing to donate to the campaign, imagine how many are going to vote for Fran in August. Subscribe to U.S. Democratic Socialists. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.